Hey, kind of a sad day in advance of a really sad day, but we just got done doing your change of command rehearsal, Jim. How do you think it went?
Yeah, sir, we're good.
Yeah?
I think so.
I got it. It was only 7 tries, but finally got it across the line. No, it was really great. Really sad though, Jim, to think about 2 years. I know we've only spent 1 year together. Sometimes it feels like a lot more than that, but 2 years is a long time to give an organization. What's one or two things that probably the most memorable moments for you over the course of 2 years? No pressure.
Sir, if I had 2 memorable moments out of 2 years, that's a tough question. But what comes to my mind the most is just the amazing people I work with, NCOs, who make up the cadre, and then also awesome officer instructors, and seeing them have ownership, empowerment, and trust just because of how special they are. It's been a real blessing, and so I would say that's one. The other part is just it's pretty rare in an armor officer's career where you actually get a ton of tank time. And so I had more tank time than I could have ever asked for.
This is the tank school.
This is the tank school. So I feel very blessed to just get as much time, not only with soldiers, but also just back on a tank and reading myself.
Yeah, one thing that impresses me about your organization and you, quite frankly, is your incorporation of real-world battlefield effects into the current POI. We have Russia-Ukraine going on.
Yes,
You're continuously learning and integrating that into the program of instruction for these lieutenants that may go out and have to deploy their tanks immediately when they hit their first unit. God forbid, but you're preparing them to be ready. Let's talk about that a little bit. Talk about a couple things that maybe you've integrated, that you've learned from current battles into the current POI.
Yes, sir. So obviously we look at Ukraine and Russia, but we've also started to shift focus and look into the Indo-Pacific region, and then what's happening in Central Command right now in the Middle East. So. But a common thread to all of them is that the battlefield's 3-dimensional. So we add, small UAS, another type of UAS to the course that, we expect officers to not just look straight ahead, but look up. Also, the forms of contact. So, just because you can't see the enemy doesn't mean they can't see you. It also doesn't mean that there's not effects that can be applied to you, specifically through the EW spectrum. So, yeah, we try to make it as realistic as possible because we don't want the lieutenant's first experience with this kind of form of contact to be an actual war. So.
You came in 2 years ago, restructured the squadron, went from a cradle to grave to a committee model. I think it's absolutely the right decision, and we're seeing the fruits of those labors over time. Like I said, I've only been fortunate enough to view it for a year, but it's been a phenomenal experience to watch. You talked about the cadre, you talked about the officers that we're so blessed to have in our formation, in your formation. But our families are important too. Let's talk a little bit about that. How's family life for you, Jim?
Yeah, well, obviously it's got its good days and its bad days, long days and short days. But the best part about the family life here in this command is I get to do all the awesome things, but there's not a 7-month or 1-year rotation on the back end of it. So for a commander, I can stay out as late as I want or out in the field as long as I want, and then come home and sleep in my bed at night. So it's been a real blessing to reconnect with my family. And there's not many places in the Army where you can have such huge impact on generations of leaders than you do here in 199th Brigade, specifically in 216 Cav. So the mission is super important, but there's not a large rotation on the back end, so it's been very, very nice to reconnect with the wife.
Yeah, it's kind of programmed out, so we have a little bit of sense of we know what's next.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Your wife is a phenomenal supporter to your squadron as well.
Yeah.
I see her out and I'm sure she'll be out here tomorrow selling
Yeah.
stuff, doing the Captastic stuff, or at least her ladies will be. So Cass is a tremendous support system for your guys' unit as well. I guess you're not leaving us, right? So
No, sir.
You're leaving the squadron, not by your choice. I'm sure you want to take it forever, but we all got to move on, and you're moving on to great things. And so let's talk a little bit about that. You're moving up to be the G3 of the Maneuver Center of Excellence. How does that make you feel?
Well, very humbled. I really appreciate the fact that the CG had confidence in me. make that leap. I'm very excited about it because I still get to do what I love every day, and that's to help the Army and help soldiers train and be ready for what's next. Yeah, so I'm very excited, sir. It should be great, and I'll do everything I can not to give too many tasks.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like little known moniker, like never forget where you came from, right?
Yeah.
So, like, all joking aside, I'm sure you're gonna look out for our organization as well as all the other
Yes, sir.
organizations
Yeah.
across the Maneuver Center of Excellence equally. So, we're looking forward to keeping you on the larger team and continue to watch us from afar. And welcome to come on back down and get some more tank time if you so choose to get out of the office.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
All right. Well, it was great having you. Great having you for this interview. I really appreciate you taking your time out today.
Thanks, sir.
Thank
Appreciate
you,
it.
man.